Okay, so we got to the listing, and this doesn't happen at all listings, but there was a little bit of furniture to move around, and just to make sure that those photos and videos look as good as they can. Can't shoot the whole house because the sellers, I guess, have a little more stuff than they thought. That's okay. We're gonna do our best at getting this house photogenic, so the realtor has a really nice piece of content to work with when they're selling it. So stuff is done moving. Let's get into the camera gear. All right, so to shoot a house with all the services we're providing on a typical basis, this is what you need. So for the camera, we're using the Canon Rebel T7i. And disclaimer, first things first, if I had any camera to choose from, I wouldn't choose this camera to shoot real estate. But the first rule of entrepreneurship is you work with what you got. So we're working with what we got. The reason I wouldn't use this camera is because it's not the greatest in low light, but there's a few tricks, which I'll cover in a different video, that you can do to boost that light without making the footage look too noisy, because that's really the main issue. Is if you bump up the ISO, you look at the footage after, it's super grainy. It's just not great to work with. So you're gonna wanna get you're gonna wanna get a camera that performs better in low light. And there are a few cameras out there like the R5, the R6, and there's a bunch of them. I'll have to do another video on what cameras are great for that type of work. But right now, Canon T7i can get the job done and can create some really good stuff. You just need the proper lighting. So opening up all the windows and all that stuff. So you can take great photos with this camera as well in auto exposure bracketing. And there's gonna be another video on that, but you need a camera. So have a tripod as well. We don't, I just have a typical tripod, one that holds this and goes up to about 5 feet with the crank. So having a camera is going to be essential along with the tripod. Now, you need a gimbal because you want that to be buttery, smooth footage. Having footage that is nice and seamless and smooth is what's going to be really attractive. So we have the Ronin DJI RS3, and this is a beautiful piece of machinery. So as you can see, it's all automated, automatic. So I'll just turn it on, and there's no camera in it right now, so that probably wasn't a good idea. Make sure it's balanced. Okay, lock it up. Now let's do that again. A lot better. So don't turn it on without the camera in it. So having a gimbal is absolutely essential because you don't want to try and be better than the machine at holding the camera in one place. As you can see, the machine is much better at doing that automatically. Next, what you need is a gimbal for your phone if you do these walkthroughs, and we have a really cool product. It is a walkthrough that's sped up, shows the whole house in less than a minute or less than 90 seconds. Really cool. This is the Osmos DJI Mobile 2. It's definitely an older version. They make some better ones now, but again, we're working with what we got. And then DJI owning the video space. We have the DJI Mini 2 drone, which is very economically friendly, and it shoots some pretty awesome footage. The only downfall I would say about this is it's a little light, and when it's windy out, it's hard to get that great footage, and debatably if what the manufacturer says is 17 kilometers for wind speed it can handle up to. I've flown this in 25 kilometers per hour, and I would say that's the point where I'm gonna draw the line. I don't think you should fly it over that. One, for footage wise, and two, you know, this does cost money. You don't want to break your cameras if you don't have to. So always just make a disclosure with your clients saying that, you know, you have the right to not fly your drone, because they're pretty expensive. They're cool pieces of equipment, but we don't want to be putting this in environments that it can't handle. So that's the only drawback on this, but it's 4K footage, super, super great. So that's it for the equipment. And other than that, if you want to get a lav mic for your client, if they like doing intros, that might be something to look into. But yeah, you got those things, you're good to go. Last thing, I forgot, you're going to want to get a filter for your lens. And the reason this is important is it's like putting sunglasses on for the sun. So on a really sunny day, I use it all the time just because I don't want that purple green hue in my camera shot. So what it'll do is it won't eliminate that, but it'll definitely regulate it a lot better. And if there's a ton of sun coming through the windows on hardwood floors or shiny vinyl floors, you're gonna get that really overexposed shot. And what this will do is it'll limit that. It won't totally get rid of it, but it'll make it a lot easier in post editing. So essential. All right, so other than that, my process for shooting the house itself, I'm gonna take photos first and then video, and then I do drone outside. So that's just a typical house. If we're getting into luxury listings, that's gonna be a little bit different, because you're gonna want you know, lighter shots of drone outside, darker shots of drone outside, with all cameras actually, drone and with your interior, exterior shots. It's a different type of listing. I'll definitely be sure to do a video on that as well. But yeah, so the process is bedrooms first, then bathrooms, other rooms, and then living room and kitchen last. I just find that process really nice. And then I'll jump outside and do the exterior stuff. And then for the video, it's the exact same thing. So let's get into it. Thanks guys for sticking around and watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what questions you might have, and if there's anything that you do that you find useful to everybody in the community. So gonna get into the photos and the videos. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.